Hey YouTubers, welcome to another one of my Disaster Dragon videos by me, Disaster Daytona. Today I'm going to be showing you my side deck and my extra deck to show you what I use and why I don't use it. I'm going to be explaining some cards that can go in the side deck, and we'll get started. Okay, for the side deck, first off, of course, you have 2 Chain Disappearance. Just because this card hurts so many decks right now. You hit Karakuri's main monster, they're dead. You hit Debris Dragon or one of the plant guys, you hurt them. Even against bunnies, you hit Tour Guide. Well, a Tour Guide in general, you hit Tour Guide, and that's going to cripple a deck so much that Chain Disappearance is still good until the little monsters that set off decks go away. I believe Chain Disappearance is going to be good, and I'm going to be main decking it until then, or side decking it until then. Next, we have 2 Cyber Dragons, pretty much standard for any side deck out there, just because of the machine matchup, the Machina matchup, the gear frame matchup. Cyber Dragon is just good. Plus, if you're playing one of our hardest matchup that Disaster Dragons have, I believe, is the Hero Beat. They have a hard time getting over Cyber Dragon, and when I was at YCS Kansas, I actually ended up winning a game because I special summoned Cyber Dragon, and his Alias and Stratos could not get over it. Next, we have the 3rd MST. I side deck a 3rd, and I'm just going to show you these right now. I side deck 2 Dust Tornadoes. I run a lot of back row hate in the side deck, just because if you play Dragons, you know that they hate back row. And getting rid of that Starlight Road, getting rid of their Solemn Warning, getting rid of, well, pretty much anything is going to work to your advantage, because most likely, if you can get past their back row with Dragons, you can get over their monsters. So that's not usually a big problem. Next, we have 2 Valor of the Warlords. Probably, and I'm saying this with a big smile on my face, the MVP of the side deck. This card screws up so many decks. One notable deck it screws up is bunnies. You play this, they can't get past it. I mean, it's just as simple as that. You're going to have them on lockdown unless they MST, unless you force them to Solemn Judgment. They're going to be stuck in a situation where they're not going to be able to summon Logia. They're not going to be able to use bunnies. They're not going to exceed with Tour Guide. This card is just that good. Even against decks like Black Wings and Samurais, and Agents, especially TG Agents, this card screws up TG Agents. But sometimes I will side this in against Samurais. It's not the best side, but when they go into Naturia Beast, or when you see they're going into Barkion, you chain this when they summon their monsters to be like, oh, well, I can't go for Barkion now. So I believe this is probably the MVP of the side deck. I love this card. I would main deck it, but as of right now, I'm just side decking it. Next, we have 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. You all know what this is for, the pesky Dark Worlds. Because if you didn't notice in my last video, I gave a lot of hate to Grapha, because I honestly I hate that card. But this card, this stops Chaos decks to some degree. It shuts down Dark Worlds. Like, if you get this off against Dark Worlds, they're finished. Simple as that. You just got to not misplay and screwed up for yourself. Next, we have 2 Mind Crush. Just because there's so many things that add stuff to your hand. There's POV dualities. There's searchers like Sengen. There's reinforcements to the army, Stratos. There's so many things to let you know what they have in their hand that it's a good card to run. Plus, if worse comes to worse, just wing it. There was I called BLS at the tournament last week and got it. I actually wanted to discard the card in my hand, that's why I used it, but getting a BLS was a nice plus. Next, we have Gore's the Emissary of Darkness. Of course, he scores. And the 15th card, I can't decide if I want Grand Mole or the Transmigration Prophecy. This guy would help me against bunnies more than anything else. And this is just a good card all around. It's like Crevice, but I like this better than Crevice, because with crevice you have to remove 2 of the same type, and this is just 2 cards. So I prefer this over crevice. Alright, now on to the extra deck. Of course, you have Bryo. One thing I want to mention about Bryo is I think that he might get banned next format, and I really hope he does, because it's either going to be him or Future Fusion, I believe, because of the new hero the new hero first turn Quasar combo coming out. So that's just a side note about Bryo. It would really piss me off, and I know it would piss a lot of you guys off if Future Fusion got banned. So if that combo is as consistent as it seems, I really hope they get Bryo before they get Future Fusion. Next is Orient Dragon, just for those times where he's better than Bryo. Ancient Fairy, I barely ever get him out, but he's good against Dark Worlds and decks like that. You have Black Rose, of course. Got Exploder Dragon Wing, mainly just because he's one of our only outs to Spirit Reaper, and he's just another option that most decks don't have, that I believe he's actually a very good card to use. He stops the recruiters, and he stops a whole host of things. Got one Stardust. Got Scrap Dragon. Love this guy with Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. I use Trishula because we can get him out. It's harder for us to get him out than other decks, but when he does come out, it's always a nice little option. So I just run Trishula. Next we have Trident Dragon, our Game Breaker. Summon him in Kokimiru. Good game. I main one Chimera Tech Fortress because I want my side deck options, and having him in the extra deck actually doesn't hurt us that bad. So sometimes I have had opponents just leave Cyber Dragon and a Gadget on the field, so it's always a nice card to have. You have Five-Headed. Of course you need Five-Headed. He's awesome when he comes out, but as you know, that's not why we use him. You have one Leviathan. Recycle Totem with it, which is awesome. We have Leviair. A lot of plays you can make off him. Get your Wyverns back, get your Totems back. Well, not really Totems per se, because Leviair will stop him, but he is a nice card to have. We have Utopia, just because I'm trying different cards out in the extra deck right now, and I'm seeing how Utopia does. I don't like him as much as I thought I would, just because you can't get him out when Kokimiru's on the field, but he is a really nice 4-star Exceed, so I'm using him right now. We'll see how that goes. And just because you can't get him out with Kokimiru, I use a Wind Up Zenmeister. So that's my extra deck. That's my side deck. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.